Barack Obama has a clip that is making the rounds on social media, Twitter specifically today, even commented upon by Twitter's overlord, Elon Musk. And when I did some more digging, I discovered, not all that hard, but this is not a new clip. This is not something that Obama has said freshly, but it's relevant very much today because in light of this news coming from the rail union, and just given my ponderings and my musings as of late, usually I'm very pessimistic about whether or not capitalism can be defeated and whether or not the people will actually win, whether or not the planet will actually win. But I have figured that I think we're actually about to win. Yes, I do. Seriously, I actually believe that winning is on the horizon, despite the fact that I think that is going to get a little bit worse, maybe a lot worse, before it gets better. But I see victory on the horizon, and here's why. Because when I saw this clip that I'm about to show you from Obama, and then I realized it was from 2019 when he was speaking at the Obama Foundation, blah, 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 whatever the fuck, right? I'm like, Obama said this in 2019. And yet, subsequently, since 2020, this exact kind of talking point has been seized upon by the right, by Tucker Carlson, Fox News, even elected officials like Governor Ron DeSantis. And I said, no, wait a second. When Obama, the so-called de facto head of the Democratic Party, for all intents and purposes, right? They only call on Obama when they want to win some shit, right? They don't call on fucking Joe Biden. What's Biden going to do? No, Obama gets the asses in the seats, right? So Obama still run the party by and large. So here's Obama, allegedly the head of the political left, the elected left, and he started smearing the phrase woke way before Tucker Carlson and them started. I said, no, wait a minute. I said, when both heads of the monster are speaking the same language, that tells me that the monster is very, very afraid of what is coming for it. So let's revisit this clip from Barack Obama back in 2019, when he's basically chastising the youth. He's chastising Gen Z, younger millennials, chastising the ways in which social media movements have been organized, or movements have been able to be organized on social media. And he thinks, and to some extent he's not wrong, but just simply tweeting is not activism. Yes, but it is a new way to engage those people who may not have been previously aware of particular struggles or specific fights or varying things. So anyway, let's check out this clip from Obama, and then we're going to hear how he's been parroted. He's been parroted a lot by those on his so-called political opposition. Let's take a listen.
You know, this idea of purity and you're never compromised and you're always politically woke and all that stuff, you should get over that quickly. The world is messy. There are ambiguities. People who do really good stuff have flaws. People who you are fighting may love their kids and, you know, share certain things with you. And I think that one danger I see among young people, particularly on college campuses, Malia and I talk about this. Yara goes to school with my daughter. But I do get a sense sometimes now among certain young people, and this is accelerated by social media, there is this sense sometimes of the way of me making change is to be as judgmental as possible about other people. And that's enough. Like if I tweet or hashtag about how you didn't do something right or used the wrong verb, or then I can sit back and feel pretty good about myself because, man, you see how woke I was? I called you out. Let me get on TV, watch my show, watch Grownish. You know, that's not activism. That's not bringing about change. You know, if all you're doing is casting stones, you know, you're probably not going to get that far. That's easy to do.
you heard that delayed applause? Didn't nobody want to clap for that shit? Nobody wanted to hear that shit that Obama was talking. And it's so very typical of him. I'll talk about him for a second and then talk about the greater, broader class interest that Obama is representing right there. But you know, if you want to know where progressive movements go to die, you look no further than Barack Obama. Every opportunity there has been for a social movement to really gain some traction, or for a particular action to potentially gain some traction. I'm thinking specifically of the NBA players when they decided not to play and they were threatening a labor strike. Obama called LeBron and said, no, 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 no. Y'all need to cut all that shit out. All that radical activist shit. Nah. You don't want to do none of that. And there is Barack Obama there, totally upholding the status quo and reinforcing this misplaced sense of civility and decorum, because basically what he's saying is that people in his position, powerful people, rich people, politically strong folks out here, if you simply criticize them online, then you're not really doing anything, you're just casting stones. Well, what most of us don't have is the political power. So, but we do have is the power of our phones, right? And Twitter is what is so interesting that of all people, Elon Musk, like I said, this clip has resurfaced. It is remaking the rounds. It has millions of views on it. And Elon himself commented on this and said that the president spoke wise words. And so for Elon and Obama to be united, or for Elon to be united with Obama's whack ass message right there, about how people aren't perfect and no one's pure and this, that, and the third. Well, what kind of impurities are we talking about, Mr. President? Are we talking about regime change in Libya, but you promised not to do? Instead, Libya has been thrown into complete chaos, an open air slave market for all intents and purposes. Notice how we don't get any much reporting about Libya. You heard about the Lockerbie, Scotland alleged terrorist that has been captured, but not much about how Libya is doing these days. It's just funny how that happens. Or in the ways that Obama definitely tried to stifle and neutralize the Black Lives Matter movement, even after leaving office, derided defund the police as a strong policy position, which I still very much support. Defund and abolish. But Obama is here to kill our dreams. Okay. And the sad thing is that, you know, he was the bougie realization of what a lot of people thought would be the coming together of the United States, and as him being elected president would somehow be a reflection of the reckoning that America has gone through, the racial reckoning. Like his election was supposed to be symbolic that we have moved past race, post-racial. And everything that comes out his mouth since he left office just reminds me how his entire elections too and his presidency was an entire scam run on us to deflate the progressive movement, to deflate any sort of sincere radical movements coming out of what was happening in 2008. Obama got our vote because he voted against war, right? He voted against the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. And what the fuck did he do? Right when he got into office, continued engaging in war, actively engaged in regime change, and authorized billions of more funding for police and law enforcement, right? Obviously, an enemy of the people and our class enemy nonetheless. And just to show you how Obama was actually ahead of the curve when it came to deriding the term woke and what it means to be woke. And it's so funny to me to see how woke has been turned into a diss. But you notice it's only a diss coming from clowns. Coming from clowns like Tucker Carlson, coming from clowns like Barack Obama. They like to use woke as a pejorative, right? And the bottom line is it's okay to be woke. Okay, what woke real means is that you understand that the systems, multiple systems in this country, are unequal. And to be woke is to want to see everything be distributed equally. You could call it socialism, you could call it a lot of things. I support woke. I support people being free to be who they are without fear of any sort of state persecution, i.e., anti-trans bills, anti-LGBTQ bills. I just want people to be able to be who they are. And to me, that is an one of small example of what it is to be woke. And there's nothing wrong with being woke. And the fact that Obama, Elon Musk, and now we're going to hear from Governor Ron DeSantis, who very famously likes to deride the word woke. And what do these three assholes have in common? Let's take a listen to DeSantis real quick.
We reject woke ideology. We fight the woke in the legislature. We fight the woke in the schools. We fight the woke in the corporations. We will never, ever surrender to the woke mob. Florida is where woke goes to die.
So woke is the word that the elites are using to basically tell you that they like the things exactly the way they are. They want to keep the status quo. They do not want to see redistribution of wealth, of access to means of production, to for people to be free amongst their genders, amongst their gender identity. They don't want to see workers be paid fairly. They don't want to teach American history in the proper way. And it's just so funny to me to see the Venn diagram for Ron DeSantis, Elon Musk, and Barack Obama to be standing firm on being anti-woke. So that should tell all of us that, number one, these ideas of political divisions in the United States, at least among the elected parties in power, it's a farce. There's only a couple of issues, truly, in which Republicans and Democrats disagree on. One of those happens to be abortion rights. The other happens to be what the Biden administration actually did, something tangible. I won't call it material. Maybe in some ways it is material, but signing the marriage equality into law so that, bigoted asshole states where interracial marriage is frowned upon, gay marriage is frowned upon. These legal unions will have to be recognized even in states in which they are not themselves legal. So that was actually a singular good thing. But what has Biden done with this democratically controlled Congress that he's about to lose control over? Have they increased the wages for people? They attempted some student loan debt relief. Not good enough. It was already short to begin with. And the conservatives have got it yoked up in court. So what exactly are the Democrats trying to do to change your material condition? The answer is very little. The answer is they stand with anti-union, environmental contaminating people like Elon Musk. Ron DeSantis, why is DeSantis in the right taking cues from Barack Obama? Because ultimately they all have the same interests. They just talk a different game, but ultimately their interests are the same. And the Democrats, along with Joe Biden, showed us that when they forced, for example, that labor agreement down the throats of the railroad workers. They're not interested in union strength. They're not interested in the power and the bargaining power of people and the workers. No, they are here to capitulate to the 1%, to the Warren Buffetts, to the Elon Musks, to the Jeff Bezoses, and that's it. And the rest of us are supposed to get in line. Are you ready to get in line? Are you ready to get in the streets? Because I don't want to get in line. Okay? I'm not here to earn another cent towards Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or Bank of America or anybody else. I'm not trying to contribute to the bottom lines of any more of these billionaires or their corporations or even any of these politicians. So it's really time for a radical shift in this country that has to be worker driven. It has to be egalitarian. We have to be able to move beyond the issues that we are dealing with race and gender identity, because those indeed are the divisions that the oligarchs and the elites thrust upon us to keep us separated. Okay. But listen, I'm not standing with no billionaire. And it's really wild to see, like that. Did you guys see? I meant to pull the clip of Chappelle and Elon. I'm certain everybody has seen it by now, but it was really disappointing. But at the same time, very unsurprising to see Dave Chappelle, comedic genius, go up for an idiot billionaire like Elon Musk, and then for Chappelle to even try to chastise his own audience in defense of Elon was the height of clownery. I said, Dave is gone. Dave is no longer in class solidarity with the rest of us. Dave has linked up with the billionaires. He loves flying on the private jets. He says, sayonara, suckers. I will crack these regular Joe jokes, but I don't stand with you regular Joes anymore. In fact, everybody up in the cheap seats, those are the ones booing Elon, right? Clownery. But let us be reminded of what Malcolm taught us last week. Everybody remember last week? Malcolm X, we played the clip. Malcolm let us know that do not look to these celebrities. Do not look to Black celebrities to be the thought leaders on politics and political actions and movements. Don't do that. And white folks, y'all don't do that either. Stop asking fucking Drake what he thinks about what he thinks about inflation. Nobody give a goddamn.